I think you. I cannot see. Oh yeah, you're there. It's like mirrored somehow. So we are live now on YouTube. Hi, YouTuber. You're seeing Vincent and Henry private lesson workshop on bamboo. I have an ebook based on this copy, which is like computer paper size. You can print it out on the computer. Vincent has a hard copy that we also carry comparing ours, so that that's very convenient. We're going to use his copy. If you watched my early YouTube, you probably know this book. It's called "A Simple and Clear Bamboo Painting Manual." I think I've done quite a few pages, so let's start over again today with Vincent. So we're going to use any brush, just the basic brush. Maybe you can get a stick brush, really good. Yeah, that's good. Here, I use a combination, but you can use any other one. Which one? Yeah, whichever you like. On the book, there's no ink tones, but you can use ink tones. Like soak the brush first. You can use the glass if you want. So let me soak it first. Let me get a palette. I just got the bowl. I just used the bowl. Okay, we just used the bowl. So my brush was from the calligraphy section. It's pretty dark, so I just add water without cleaning too much. It becomes gray. So you can paint the bamboo vertically or horizontally. Just do horizontally. So we just copy the first page of the book. We start from the bottom of the stand, and you see if you frame. So like half of the section, or maybe more than half, is right outside. Imagine that. So you just do like 1/3 of a section to begin with, and then you continue. Yeah, too wet. Okay. Okay, hold the brush more or less straight up. So not the lean position, but straight. So keep the center of the brush. You can pull your hand, your arm. It goes outside. It doesn't matter if this is too thin. Try to keep the thickness the same, right? Okay. The next one is very close to the first one, so you can start. I think there's a hint of the other, down side. My head goes up. So see, this is a bad stroke, not even. Right?
Yeah.
You got it better.
Yeah, filled it in.
Yeah. I don't want to fill in.
Yeah.
You'd rather cover it with a leaf, not to fill it in. Okay, people can tell if you fill it in on rice paper. 100 years from now, they can still see that. The other side, and then make a curved thing. But it's according to the book, there's no curve within the section. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, just the curve and directions between each section would be fine, but not curve within the section. Okay, that's a curved line, straight line. Then you can add the joints, but we don't have to do that because that will require dark ink, the tonal change. So let me just leave this should I continue on same paper? Or you can practice on the same paper if you want. I try to keep the page the same as the book. Okay, the book talks about one straight but with broken top. I don't know why it's broken, but it says broken stand. So you just do. I think you just basically like.
You do it on the same and then we do it different.
You can make just practice. Just practice. Yeah, anywhere you want. Don't have to worry about composition. Let me see how you do. Okay. Yeah, I think you're good to move your arm. That's good, and you can pull the brush instead of pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't push the brush against the direction you move. You pull it, the handle towards the direction you move. So when you do this line, you can just overlap with your previous stroke. Let me show the movement. You can start from. I'll pay attention on where I start very carefully. So when you paint, you can start this side or this side, but not on the corner, right? Right on the corner, so you can avoid the corner or the middle of the page. That's the. This start. Okay, and then kick in. No. I don't know what this is. Are we still online? That's weird. Sorry. That's weird. Why it's disappeared? I don't want to paint like a parallel on the book, so it should be a little bit at an angle. But you start at a different height, maybe wider. So you can paint this maybe shorter, and then make a hard crossing, but with the dry strokes, so that goes behind. When I have a broken brush, I try to adjust it by rotating the side in between sections. Maybe you can also twist the brush to adjust it. You don't, but you always adjust it before you start. Then adjust it. You can within each stroke. And that's the linked brush we call it, and I mean the stem. So not too much trouble, right? So your ending knob could be a little stronger, like the dot. You can have a little kick, but not too far. This is pretty exaggerated. Okay, now the knob. We can go back to the. Oh, actually, I can just follow the differentiation, but you can keep doing it on the same page. Okay, let me do a. Do you understand this? This has a little. How do you describe that little pattern on the sand? It looked like a stripe, but not a stripe. It's dimmed, like the stem is not rounded completely. It has flat side on the stem. So that's what it is. I don't know how to get it in this kind of spontaneous style. It's hard to get it. Maybe I could do it on this side. You can do it maybe on the left side, because yeah, left-handed. See this little thing. It has. So you can make it after this, like that.
Oh.
It's not a common detail you always do. So, but it is true on the bamboo. The other day I showed people how the bamboo looked like. It has this kind of notch, or what do you call this pattern, that cutting to the skin. So that's what it is. So, this is just the point that I try to make, is you try to understand, not just the copy without understanding it. Because I had students thought it was like a pattern, like dark stripes on the bamboo, but it is not. It's like on this page is how to do that knots. So you start with like two dots facing each other. We call this dragonfly eye, like dragonfly eye, right? And then the silver hook kind of thing. So you go from like a hook goes back and up, hooking up, yeah. And then the hook could go down. So I think the last one, if you look at this one on the list, this is the bird looking back, looking at the belly, at his her belly, like that. I think I didn't get it. So sometimes you just lose the connection. I mean, that's fine. So there's a connection like that. So this is like a downward hook. You don't have to worry about all these names, but these two dots should talk to each other. That's the key. Let me just mimic what students might do. So they should talk to each other, right? They just face each other. You don't do just like that, not like dots. So this eye should talk to each other. Okay. Or when you have a hook, it should go either up or down, like that. The other variations is similar. You can have a little dot or a stroke hook, or upward or downward, I think. Anyway, that's for the joint. Joint should be a little wider than the stock. Right? This is the stock, and this is the joint, knob. We call this. That's the. This is a difficult part. In practical painting, we may omit the branch. You don't have to do all the branches, but it's good to know. Even you don't do it, you just keep them in mind when you do the leaves first. If you do the leaves first, the branch is like writing cursive style or writing style calligraphy. This is called the fishbone style. So each stroke is like a fish bone. We use like maybe dark gray would be fine. You can use stiff brushes, and it's easier if you want. Let me just do one. So it's like a fishbone, right? And then it goes like that. This 4-stroke is a basic. Then you can consider another 4. 1, 2. You can count this as a 4. 3, 4. Maybe, yeah, the 4th stroke. Okay, another thing is you don't paint like Y, means 2 sides are the same. You do one side longer than the other, so that means to this group. Okay, maybe you start from this this here. So you can do a little joint, but don't have to make the joint too strong. You can even omit that, and then just do a long stroke like so, and then you can add a short one from outside in. That's also possible. Inside out and outside in, was fine. And then do another group. Try one more group. You can do the center line first, maybe, or you can just do section by section. 1, 2, 3, and you can do lots of fishbone kind of strokes. Some long, one short, I would say. Some, one long and some short and short. And just try to keep the angle consistent, but vary the length of the. You can change directions. One long, one short, one short, one long. Vary, and you can use some strokes to adjust that. Just like adding little dots from outside in. You can change it easily. Good, very good. This, yeah, go ahead. This is a more complicated look like, but if you just follow the first stroke group, you can do it. So with one, this branch has knobs. You can change direction between sections like that, and then the little branches, long one in the center, and maybe you don't have to copy stroke by stroke. Try to identify the pattern, like the 4-stroke, 4-stroke pattern I mentioned. That will. So you always add group of 4, and just make that. This, if you have two, if you develop from both sides of the stem, the stalk, you make sure one side is the host, one side is the guest or shorter. So this is you can, depends on the position of your hand, just for the convenience. You don't have to twist just keep it in one direction. Sometimes you go outside in, sometimes it's more convenient to do inside out. Even the smallest stalks, you can see the change of size. 1, 2. Pay attention on the dense and sparse, and also the angle, of the whole the movement. So they're not spread. Even there's some change. I think you're good. So there's some even going backwards, but be careful not to make that the host. So there's a structural tendency that goes from right to the left, right? So you don't want to emphasize on this. But there is it's a good idea to have some turn to take this consideration of the space on this corner. That's good. But just keep the main movement direction very strong, dominant. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. and you can have some shortest branches from outside in, something like that. That's the branch. It's like autumn branch, autumn bare. They don't fall. The leaves don't fall, but you might need to do this also in the spring bamboo. There's some joints as well, but very suggestively. You have to make the joint too strong. That's good. That's nice. That's good. And some other parts of the bamboo, the bamboo shoots and new branches, or the root. The root is like a whip. You can turn in in any direction you want, but it's kind of short and very how do you say the joint? There's lots of joints. Okay, and the bamboo shoot should be done with light ink first, and then dark accent. So let's do this here. 1, 2. You can start from the top. That's what should do. And cutting is a food. You can find it in grocery stores, in Asian grocery stores. Very delicious bamboo shoots. If you do 2, it would be 1 smaller or shorter also, and shorter, smaller and shorter. So just pull the brush like almost like print, slant the brush, almost like printing, stamping it with the side of the brush. And then you can use a little dark to dot the tip. It bends like a little, or you can just dot the point. Like that. Sometimes people also dot the pattern on the skin, like that. Some more dense and sparse. That's very common on bamboo shoot. Yeah. And the small bamboo, young bamboo, just very narrow, so nothing special. Just usually near the bottom, the root part. But you do see that kind of, okay, this is the tip maybe. So there's little like a shoots on the top, like a leaf buds. The leaf doesn't come out here. So you can alternate to the side, not on both sides. Just do it again. Okay, now I vary the heights of the joints. Left, right, alternate. You can. It's a young shoots. Okay. Okay, now we are going to do the basic strokes for the leaves. The leaves are mostly in dark ink. The light ink for the bamboo stalk or stems, and the dark for the leaves. You can paint light leaves in larger painting to do like backgrounds, yeah, shadows kind of things. The dark is the front, the light, the bright part. You can use more ink. Okay, you don't have to vary in each leaf. You can vary the groups. Dark group and light group can come together. Anyway, that's about ink. So one leaf is the basic. Let's just do like that. You can hide the tip to start. And you can add to the stem later. Or you can do the stem first. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't repeat. Okay. Then the two leaves. The first one is the same, like flying leaf upward, and then this is like a very minimal, like short, foreshortened view of side view. Either way, just a dot, right? Okay, and this one is a curly leaf. It's very common that you just add the tip part. It's like a windy bamboo kind of. So let me show you how to do it. Like imagine the wind blow this way direction, so it's a little bit against the. Okay, then there's two leaves, one long, one short. Okay, just like upside down again of people. One short, you can do the short one on the left, and then the long one. I'm going to exaggerate. And then I use the long one should lean to the other side to separate. So the angle should be a little bigger. And then you can add the stems. Okay. Okay. Normally, I think maybe the direction of both leaves should towards the same. I think maybe that's what it says. This one just do not have just slightly starting from slightly different heights on the same stem. Facing the same direction. Yeah. You can start the bottom. The beginning part should be a little bit straighter.
Okay.
The tip is it's like the I always use the mop metaphor. Like you go back before you go forth, or go up before you go down. Just the opposite. Just like you do the punch, you go the other direction first. You can repeat. You can use the same same paper. I use the rest of the paper. I try to keep the page the same as the book. Okay, the next. Now I'm talking about the crossing. So the crossing is it's hard to. I think this one, when you make a cross, let's just do two without crossing, one short, right? One short, one long. Don't repeat it. Okay, then you can have the long one on the other side. Doesn't matter. Okay, and you can have one long, one short facing up, as we did earlier, and now we do the crossing. Do the main leaf first, no matter which direction, and then you make a cross. I think the point is when you make a hard cross, you don't paint the same like an X, because the first of all the crossing point is not in the middle, so close to the end of the first leaf. Yeah. the starting obviously follow. The brush didn't load enough. Yeah. Load more ink. Okay, let me keep on the other row. So this one is a character rule. Rule is the opposite, like a flipped then. And this one is both leaves towards the right. So I always do the long one. Look at my beginning. So I can go up before down. Right? You can also do the short leaf first. Like this group, I think I will do this short one, because the book sometimes gives us hint of what first, but if not, you can do either way. I think doesn't matter. Later, it will show you which number first. But this one is a flying gesture, flying posture, firm gesture. So this one goes up like a wing, like a side view swallow. Okay. Again, it says if you have two similar leaves down leaves, vary the size. So I think we have bamboo in the backyard. If you look at real bamboo, they never come in the same size on the same branch. They always have a host and guest, one large, one small. Yeah, basically, that's a main point I try to make: one large, one small. That will make the bamboo real, not like artificial. Okay. Now the three stroke. That's a very fundamental area. The most important thing with three. After you master the three, you can do five. Just 2 plus 3, that kind of thing, easily. So 3 is most important. Come 3. That's the first illustration says. Thank you. Let me just do this group. It's like flying. I think in some book it has this kind of swallow metaphor, like this is the swallow's head, like two wings. It didn't say here, but just add a dot between 2, becomes 3. And this is the typical one we call the goods, individual. Good means individual, but it's just like how we write the bamboo, there are 2 individual. Okay. 3 strokes. 1, 2, 3. You can start to see the numbers in the sequential number. It's from left to right, from short to long. Yeah. From short to long. You can try it one more time. Just from short. Try to paint them in a continuous movement, so there are some natural connection between the strokes. Just like you write your name in cursive style. Yeah, you go like circle, like this continuous movement. And then 3 leaf crossing, 1, 2 on the left, then 3 to the right. Okay, direction is also important. So, but dominant direction is to the right. So this 2 stroke is a short. 1, 2, and then cross 3. Very good. Okay, the next one says the 3 stroke but lean to the right. So 1, 2, 3. So it leans to the right. Not. This is more balanced in the middle, right? This is lean to the right. I assume later we'll see lean to the left or something. We don't see it here, but maybe later. Okay, let's go up. This one is special. I don't want to. Oh, let's do that. But it's not a good example. It's hard to foresee. It's the X crossing. I will avoid that. Just avoid that. This one says lose 3. I don't think that's a good example. If you do this for no compositional context, you may get to lose. We omit this 2. We consider this. Don't do that. We do this one. It's the 3 stroke plus plus a head. It become like another kind of swallow, but with tail. So two strokes to the left, and then 1 stroke upper right, and then a little stroke to the on the top. It's like a fish head. I mean, bird's head. So this is. Let me do it again. I think I didn't do it.
Very good.
Yours better. Okay. Yeah, this is off balance. So anyway, you got the idea better. That's nice.
Very nice.
Let me show the see what Vincent did. Good. All right. We have like a few minutes left. Let me see. Let's do 1 more page maybe to finish. Okay, you can work on the other side of the page. This is the starting of a next group, a 4 stroke group. In addition to the numbers, it adds a directional guide, directional character. So it says level 1, straight 2, slant 3, and flying 4. Understand? Okay, follow me. Okay. Well, not really leveled. Right? Level 1, so almost leveled. Down 2. Down, maybe not completely straight. I would just keep the angle to the right, and then slant to the right. 3. This is the hosting stroke, longer, bigger, and also a slightly smaller one, flying. Okay, that's the 4. Very good. And let's do another one. It says slightly. Okay, we start from the. And then crossing strokes, and then flying. Okay, down stroke first on the left, small stroke, and then this is considered 1 long, 1 short. Right? Yeah, you're right. You're good at Chinese. How do you know this is the second? Oh, you can read that 6. This number 6. Yeah, Vincent knows Chinese. So if you read, if you learn this Chinese 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That helps. So this is the first 2 stroke. Then you make a cross. Just repeat, almost like repeat, and then the last. This is the flying 4. Okay. All right.
Very decisive.
Yeah, I just size it off.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one. Facing the left, so the weight is more on the left side. It's very important that you don't divide the leaves equally if there's an imaginary center, So the first, second, all towards the left. The third one starts to change directions a little bit, but still, the weight is on the left. To balance that, this is what I do the last thing, that you kind of create imbalance, then balance it. That's the idea. The weight is on the yeah, perfect. So okay,
This could be a little.
yeah, you can make the size more, like
Very.
dense and short here, and the long one to balance that. Just like you have one stretched arm,
Mhm.
one and
I'm trying to zoom in.
yeah, you can do another one if you want. Let's see how you do. Very good. Yeah, the second one could be more to the left. You can always change the whole
Yeah,
group.
good.
Yeah, good.
And this can kind of give more
Yeah.
color for this speed.
Notice the difference width of the stroke. Yeah, they're not the same. So it has to do with either the actual size of the leaf varies.
Mhm.
That could happen if you look at real bamboo. And also the perspective.
Some size.
So both
Mhm.
many, but just for aesthetic, for
Variation.
variations that calligraphy, you vary the size. It would be good. So before you start, just keep in mind this is the main stroke.
Mhm.
So we do small, large. It comes early, and then to balance that with two narrow strokes. Yeah, I think even there's a curve, but you don't want to curve to the extent that look like a peach
Mhm.
tree or willow tree leaves.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue the study of finish the basic strokes.
Okay.
You can practice some this
Yeah,
evening.
practice on
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Okay. Everybody for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.